Thursday the 20th of February. It's the last day of a 2-week session. There'll be a 1-week recess next week. Today we'll sit from 2 o'clock till 6 o'clock. We'll start off with the Leader of the House, Chris Hipkins, making a business statement indicating what the House is likely to be doing when it comes back in nearly 2 weeks' time. Then we'll go on to oral questions. The first question is the name of Paul Goldsmith to the Minister of Finance about whether he stands by his policies and statements. Kiritapu Allen, again to the Minister of Finance, about reports on the economy. Judith Collins to the Minister of Housing, about displacement of people by Kāinga Ora in the housing market. Dr Nick Smith to the Minister of Justice about the Leader of New Zealand First's comments about the Electoral Commission. Jan Logie to the Minister of Workplace Relations and Safety about the Screen Industry Workers Bill. Chris Bishop to the Minister of Transport about Auckland Light Rail. Raymond Ho to the Minister of Transport about safer walking and cycling. Nikki Kay to the Associate Minister of Education about learning support. Nicola Willis about early intervention to Tracy Martin. Duncan Webb to the Minister for Greater Christchurch Regeneration about speeding up the regeneration projects. Todd Muller about bovine TB in the Hawke's Bay. Brett Hudson to the Minister of Police about amendments to the Arms Legislation Bill. Then we'll go on to some debate on the Prime Minister's statement. We're getting into a fair way into the 13-hour debate, which is likely to be finished in the first week after the recess. Then we'll adjourn that and go on to the first reading of the Residential Tenancies Amendment Bill in the name of Chris Farfoy, the third reading of the Electoral Amendment Bill in the name of Andrew Little, and if we have any time left, we'll go on to the continuation of the third reading of the Ombudsman Protection of Name Bill. While Parliament is sitting this afternoon, the Officers of Parliament Committee will be sitting on a most unusual petition, one from Martin Matthews, the former Auditor General, who is concerned about the circumstances around his resignation, whether he got a fair go or not. The committee this afternoon will be hearing from Mr Matthews, from Sir Martin Weavers, who inquired on behalf of the previous committee, previous Officers of Parliament Committee, and from David Carter, the former Speaker who chaired that committee. At the end of that, the committee will make some decisions about what it's going to do going forward.